Hey guys, so this is my week 3 vlog, which is about GIFs, and this week we were given 4 readings, and so I'm just going to summarise the kind of key points that I found interesting and give my own personal opinions on some various things. So firstly, we learnt about the history of GIFs, and we learned that they first came into use in 1987, and a GIF stands for a graphic interchange format. And there's also like a lot of debate over how you pronounce GIFs, and I know some people are going to say GIFs, but the creators of GIFs actually call them GIFs, but I call them GIFs because the G stands for graphic, and that has a hard G, so I've just always called them GIFs, and I'm not going to change. So when they were first invented, the use of GIFs wasn't really that widespread because you had to kind of have technical knowledge to be able to put these things together. And they were all kind of little animations, like the dancing baby you might have seen, or just like the world turning round and round. Recently, however, there's been a massive kind of surge in popularity of these GIFs, and Rubinstein said in one of their readings that technology repeats itself twice. First as a breakthrough, and the second time as nostalgia. And this is exactly what's happened, because now it's kind of like GIFs have got this kind of retro feel about them, and people who were around when GIFs were first invented kind of have that attachment to them because they were there when they first came out, and now they've kind of come back around like fashion. I definitely think there's something kind of very charming and endearing about GIFs, because we kind of live in a world now where everything's like super high tech, HD, like everything has to be the best quality that it can be. But then with GIFs, they're the complete opposite. They're these like grainy little images that are kind of just a few seconds long, and I think that's interesting because it's just different. I think another one of the appeals of the GIF is the fact that it's a continuous loop, which has a kind of hypnotic element. You really do find yourself staring at it and watching it over and over again. And Chadwick Matlin said in the reading Inside the GIF, "The loop of the GIF is like a broken record in that it captures a moment in which time has been made to maniacally repeat itself, which makes it nonsensical yet enthralling." So on top of these kind of appeals of GIFs, the other main factor which has contributed to their success is kind of social media platforms and platforms which enable the GIF to spread. For example, Tumblr. And this is definitely one of the main contributing factors to the GIF success. Another factor that's contributed towards the GIF success is that, unlike in 1987, when only people who could kind of speak computer language could make these GIFs, nowadays there's a lot more kind of apps and programs like GIF Boom, GIF Soup, Image Flip, which basically enable anyone to make GIFs and make it really, really simple. Alex Williams mentioned in his article Fresh from the Internet's Attic that the GIF making process has now been democratised by GIF programs which dumb down the controls. And this has obviously had a huge impact on the kind of sheer number of GIFs that are floating around. Even I managed to make some, as I will show you here, and it basically took no technical expertise whatsoever. It took me about 5 minutes to make these two. In contrast to this, however, there have been a lot more kind of commercial uses of GIFs recently. For example, Williams mentions that GIFs are appearing in art galleries all over the world, and they're also starting to play a role in fashion advertising and online marketing campaigns. For example, like big fashion brands like Nine West will have their Tumblr pages, and they'll have their clothes displayed as a GIF, which kind of really takes advantage of the hypnotic element of GIFs in that people kind of stare at them rather than just a static image where people look at it and then don't really take in what it is. Chadwick says that GIFs are starting to play a kind of role in the commercial world because GIFs equate to virality, which means traffic and thus monetization. So it makes sense that companies are going to kind of take advantage of this. I personally don't really like the fact that GIFs are being more commercially driven because it's kind of taking away from their roots and their kind of naive, fun, frivolous kind of connotations, but I think it's kind of inevitable that it was going to happen because the world is just so kind of capitalist driven, and it was only a matter of time really before they kind of caught onto it. Currently, however, kind of the commercial uses of GIFs are much in the minority compared to the people who make GIFs for entertainment of others and just for their own kind of fun. So the question is really, what will happen to GIFs in the future? And I think that GIFs are going to kind of maintain their popularity. There's not going to be another kind of decline like there was after 1987, because they're just such a unique form of media and there's nothing else really like them. And people seem to love them, so I don't think they're going to go anywhere really. But I think they will continue to kind of evolve. For example, there's been the Wigglegram, which is kind of going around Tumblr now, and kind of different variations of GIFs, which kind of like memes will evolve into different things. But yeah, I don't think GIFs are going anywhere. So that's all I have to say about GIFs today. Yeah, bye.